gentle watchers. I'm here today with a little bit of literary analysis. Also some disability activism, soupçon of I hate the medical system and it still sucks for people with chronic illnesses, and the solution isn't in the medicalization of illness. Actually, who knew? Silas Marner is the story of a lonely weaver who moves to the rural village of Ravenlow. Silas has fits, what we'd call epilepsy, which a childhood friend uses to manipulate their isolated community into shunning Silas. Silas moves to Ravenlow, but his differences and his fear isolate him until a baby girl seeks shelter in his cottage. The baby, Epi, brings back Silas's hope, and he adopts her, and through caring for Epi, Silas connects with the community of Ravenlow. Now, Silas Marner's fits match most closely with what we would now call absence seizures. Martin Willis argued George Eliot actually totally had access to the best knowledge of catalepsy of her time period, and that she used that in her depiction of Silas Marner. But I hope you will not find it at all a sad story as a whole, since it sets, or is intended to set, in a strong light the remedial influences of pure natural human relations. Marian Evans, which was the real-life flame of George Eliot, struggled herself with chronic illness. She had chronic migraines, and she suffered from fatigues and headaches, as well as serious depression she struggled with her entire life. She often found the most helpful things was in connecting with her family and her friends. She often speaks of how they help root her and anchor her when she's at her darkest and most depressed. Silas Marner, in his story, never finds a cure for his epilepsy. He's not magically fixed, but he does find happiness despite his illness. It's no longer a burden, it's just a sickness at the end of the novel. And that's because of his love not just for Effie, but for Effie's love for him and his community's love for him. So what does modern medicine have to say about epilepsy? Well, luckily epilepsy is treatable in about 70% of cases, but the health burden for epilepsy remains quite high, particularly in countries with lower health infrastructure. But globally, the stigma around epilepsy remains high. It's often misunderstood to be caused by supernatural or spiritual, or it's misunderstood to be a mental illness. Even in places where there is higher medical literacy, patients with epilepsy report very high levels of stigma and discrimination. Epilepsy is often comorbid with other diseases, so it's often also accompanied by mental illnesses, developmental disabilities, intellectual disabilities. Even though we can treat epilepsy a lot better now, we can treat migraines, we can treat a lot of illness in ways we couldn't in the past, we still often fail to do so because we fail to give people the support they need to gain access to the treatment that's going to help them. And for the not insignificant, the 30% of people with epilepsy and a lot of people with chronic migraines and other illnesses for whom medicalized treatment doesn't solve other problems, we leave them with no support because our medical system doesn't provide care for people when we can't fix them. And that's a huge lesson that George Eliot was struggling with in her time, a failure in her society that she saw, and a failure that continues to this day. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you got something out of it. Take care of yourself. Take care of those around you.